And when that happens, the prefrontal cortex struggles to regulate because it's not active. And the body remains in that state of readiness. It's like scanning all the time. And so this is why people often say, I know that I'm safe, but I don't feel safe. And that's not resistance. That's not denial. That is just biology. So like fear in the Inside Out movie, never leaving the chair even when the room is quiet. And so it's maladaptive memory encoding. It's stored in trauma time. So when the past lives in the present, this is a time orientation issue in trauma. And so one of the most important trauma concepts is maladaptive memory encoding. When danger happens without resolution, without protection, without choice, so there's powerlessness, or without support, the memory is stored without a timestamp. It's live. It's like ongoing. And so the nervous system doesn't encode that it happened then, that it's over, that we don't need to be afraid anymore. It encodes this could happen again. In fact, it likely will happen again. So we better be ready for it. So what we end up having is a tone of voice or facial expression or a slammed door or a deadline or a raised eyebrow or any of those things can activate that same fear response as the original threat when it happened in the first place. So in Inside Out, when Riley's core memories shift, her entire emotional world reorganizes. And in humans, trauma reshapes our emotional islands, for lack of a better word, also to trust, connection, safety, and identity. Fear isn't reacting to now, it's responding to unresolved then when it's stuck in the on position. Now, it doesn't mean we're not going to be afraid for a moment. In fact, I've got a funny story. The other day, my youngest son and I, we were walking down the dock where we keep our boat. And he joked and he acted like he was going to push me in the water. And he didn't. But my response to him was, all systems are working. And he just laughed at me. And what that was me saying, I felt the adrenaline of the fear in that moment, like I was going to end up in the ocean. But then it calmed down. And that's how I knew that I was anxious about almost getting pushed in the water or being afraid that I might get pushed in the water. And he said to me, oh my gosh, it's such a funny way that you said that. Because I just went, all my systems are working, because I felt that rush. So anyways, trauma is what happened and what didn't happen. So it's not just the things that we went through. It's also what support we didn't get when the thing happened. One of my favorite people that I follow about this topic is Dr. Gabor Mate, and he reminds us that trauma is not the bad thing that happened most of the time. It's the disconnection with the people that were supposed to keep us safe and supported that happened inside of us. And so fear often develops not from one dramatic or drastic event, but from chronic emotional neglect, inconsistent caregivers, living with unpredictability, having to suppress emotions to stay connected because our emotions were too overwhelming to the people around us. Or when no one helps a child regulate, fear becomes the regulator. So in the movie Inside Out, when joy and sadness are gone, fear and anger run the system. And that's not dysfunction, that's survival. And so when you think of people that you know, or even maybe yourself, if you're someone who's chronically angry or chronically anxious or fearful, this is what your body is doing for you because you didn't have adults to help you regulate your system. And fear steps up when there's connection that's missing. It's just how we survive. So now we're going to talk about how chronic fear shows up in adult life. When fear lives at the control panel for us, it doesn't always look like panic.